Hi, I'm Tobias Zollo of Stefana, and this is the Brewer to Brewer podcast from All About Beer. My guest is Scott Jennings of the Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, and he's here with me for a conversation that goes beyond to the brewhouse and into topics that matters to brewing professionals and curious beer drinkers. First, please visit allaboutbeer.com and follow on social media All About Beer. To support journalism in the beer space, check out patreon.com/allaboutbeer. We'll get into the conversation in just a moment, but first, this message.
I'm David Seiler from Stone's Throw Brewing in Charleston, South Carolina, and I use Malteurop because they have great products and customer service. The new warehouse has been an amazing upgrade to Malteurop service, which I really didn't think was even possible. The short turnaround time has been great for me. Being able to pivot and change brew days is crucial to any brewery. The ability to switch things at the end of the week, knowing I'll have grain within a couple of days for placing my order, means I can be much more fluid with my brew days. It has severely decreased my anxiety as a planner, and less stress is such a great feeling. Contact Malteurop today and visit malteuropmaltingco.com.
Attention brewers, registration is now open for the 2025 Best of Craft Beer Awards. This is a BJCP sanctioned competition judged by fellow brewers and industry leaders. It uses a unique set of style guidelines that champions harmonious and dynamic beers. Held in beautiful Central Oregon, it's the third largest professional brewing competition in North America and is an opportunity to have your hard work evaluated and rewarded. In addition to traditional and specialty beer styles, new this year is the hop water category. Register your beers through January 31, 2025 by visiting bestofcraftbeerawards.com/register. Don't delay. Learn more and get your beers signed up by visiting bestofcraftbeerawards.com/register.
Next time you're going through your books, check and see how much you're paying for brewery software. Odds are you're paying way too much. Ollie is the fastest growing brewery software that is saving brewers time and money while delivering the tools they need to grow their business. Learn more at getollie.com/pod. That's getollie.com/pod.
In front, something a little bit of my guest today. Scott Jennings is the technical brewmaster of Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. Prior to joining Sierra Nevada in 2001, he earned his brewmaster diploma at the VLB in Berlin, Germany, then served as an intern at Young & Co. Brewery in London. During his more than 20 years at Sierra Nevada, he has served as a shift brewer, research and development head brewer, commissioning brewmaster for the California Pilot Brewery, and for the North Carolina Production Brewery. And now he is a technical brewmaster at Sierra Nevada in North Carolina. So that's really great. And I'm so happy that I met him a few years ago. We first met 2017 or 2018 when we started our brew pact together, our collaboration brew, Stefan and Sierra Nevada. And that was, for me, still a really good experience, not only from the brewing side, also from the personal side. And I think I can say we still then, or since then, we are also friends. And that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
We meet, I think, at least once a year, normally in Germany, because I don't make it so often to the USA. But you're sometimes here, and I think that's really great that whenever you come to Europe, it's also very big, Europe, you always try to make it to Weinstefan to meet here with me. Most of the time you also bring your wife, Elizabeth. And that's so familiar. We're sitting in the beer garden, having a chat together, and drinking beer, enjoying the life, and that's really cool because this goes really beyond the brewing and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see you again, Tobias, even on video. It's great to see you. Yeah, it's a special treat to get to go to Weinstefan and hang out with you there. Last time, I was really excited to get a preview, let's say, of your cellar expansion project. That was really a treat. But yeah, great to see you. How have you been?
Good. The cellar is already finished. So all the construction work and everything, it's still running. It's already running. And yeah, that was cool because when you're here, it was I think 1 or 2 months prior to the opening. But some things already worked. So we had one of the first beers in the cellar, and you have been one of the first. It was still a construction site, but we've been together in the cellar, and you pour some beer from directly from the tank in the cellar. That was cool
Yeah.
because yeah. To be one of the first at the construction site is always better than when all the people come for the grand opening and everything else, and the customers and the politicians and everything. But first, the brewers have to check if everything is okay.
Yeah. For anybody listening, if you haven't been, you really need to. It's one of the greatest places in the brewing world, I would say, without a doubt.
Yeah, thank you so much. But yes, you're right. I'm so happy to be here and be brewmaster in this place because this is really cool. It's a special place with a university connection, and a lot of brewmasters were educated here, or and also come back here to the university and to the brewery, and the brewing world is meeting here from several times a year, and also come to the brewery, and that's why I always say brewing industry is a village, brewing world is a village, so that's why you know each other, and it's always good when you meet each other. And I'm always happy when people come over, especially when brewers are under the people, because you can talk on a different level and have a good time. And that's what I always said. I think I said it in the last podcast as well. We are not in the, I don't know, sales guys or marketing guys, so we don't have to fight each other. Fight because they have to take the share of the market. We are brewers, so we help each other, and we can exchange knowledge and have fun together. And that's makes it more special than just being a sales guy. Don't want to blame sales guys; they are very important for us.
Of course,
But you
absolutely.
know what I'm talking about. So we don't have
Yeah, yeah.
just
It's
fight. We also can share, exchange knowledge and everything, and help each other. So for today, I prepared for this podcast where I'm drinking a Torpedo IPA, Cryo Fresh Torpedo IPA, Wet Top IPA. I got it. So it's very hard to get fresh Sierra Nevada beer or Sierra Nevada beer in total in Europe, because you guys have a strict management. Like beer has to be fresh, especially when it's dry hopped. So that's why you don't want the beer to travel so far. That's I think was also a reason to open a brewery at the east coast of the United States, to have a fresher beer for the people. So that's why it's not so easy to get it here in Europe. But I'm always happy when I have it. So when you're over, you bring me the Hazy little IPA every time.
yeah.
I'm so happy about that.
Well, I'll bring you some other things too from time to time,
Yeah,
but I know you like it. So and of course everybody knows the beer, no matter what beer really it is. Well, okay, maybe some exceptions in there, but generally fresh beer is the best beer. So
that's true. And nowadays I'm running through Wine Chefing with Sierra Nevada merch, and Scott is running through North Carolina with the Wine Chefing merch. And yeah, that's the good point of the exchange.
yeah, yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah. So, but today we want to talk a little bit about you, because you're one of the most famous brewers in the world.
I don't know about that, but
I don't think
you're
so.
you're too
Because you
kind.
starts with your brewmaster at Sierra Nevada, one of the pioneers of the craft beer industry in the United States and also in the world. And you're also, for a reason, booked for some, how do you call it? where people get knowledge or come together and you can share your experience. So you get booked here in Germany or in Austria, so in Europe, or I think it's also in the United States.
Right. Yeah.
Because you don't make it just on a technical side, also on a personal side, in a very humble way. So that's why you are very well known, and a lot of people like you because you're doing a great job about that. And that's really cool.
Well, thank you. It's really nice. Thank you very much. Couldn't say the same thing about you, of course.
Yeah, thank you. But beside that, what are you doing the whole day in the Sierra Nevada brewery? Maybe a lot of people are interested in that. So what's just like an average day for you?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, that's I don't know that there's a real normal, and I guess what I mean by that is in my current role, I have I guess I wear a lot of hats, you could say. We do a lot of I don't know, you could call it process optimization, process improvement kind of projects around the brewery, in both breweries, and these are technical projects. Just anything for improving the quality, improving the process, improving the efficiency. All kinds of things can fall under that category. You know very well the kinds of things I'm talking about. Um, Nowadays, in the last few years here, we haven't had much in the way of brewery expansion projects, but we do a lot of new equipment, testing, new process ideas, concepts, testing, adapting, new processes to ours to just check if it's an improvement or not in some way or another. These are research projects for the most part, and they're really interesting all over the map, and they're start and stop. So, we might be juggling um, 3 or 4 projects at the same time that move along slowly, and then other times there might be something that's like, oh wow, this is a really high priority. We've got to do this right now, so everything is focused on that. So, I guess that's what I mean by there's no normal because we don't have a
I can
routine.
understand you. I totally understand you. Yeah, same here. So there are some days you're just drinking beer, or what means just. So you have a lot of customers over and talk with them and talk about the brand and all the things. Then you have days you're just like to improve everything, to make it more efficient, to put out the last thing to produce more at the same time, or you install new equipment, and
Hmm.
yeah, that's true. Or you just improve your recipes, or you try to I don't know, because I think we are both in different worlds, more or less. So you're in the craft beer industry, and we're in the traditional world. But the trend of the brewing industry is the same for us. So big thing in the world at the moment is in the brewing world is non-alcoholic beer.
Right.
So we have to keep jump on this train. We are both on it, or we I think we longer than you, but you're also not. You also been one of the first in the United States, from my point of view. But it's important to be on the train, and it's important to have a good thing and not just to okay, yeah, there's a trend. Let's jump on, do it a little bit, and then jump off again and jump on the next train. So that's I think we don't do that both. So we just
Right.
think it's important. We saw the trend since years, and now it's a big thing. And we are not the first. We are into this business, and now we are just improving that, or try to adjust it a little bit, or bring it better to the people,
Mm-hmm.
not to lose everything or to completely go away from your industry, like a lot of breweries do it with the hard seltzer or hard iced tea, or how do you call it? So we are still in the brewing industry and try to make the best for our customers, for all customers, for the healthy or non-alcoholic people, and also for the heavy beer lovers. And that's
Yep.
important to be on track with good products. And
Yeah, we do, a lot of, new beer development, new beer innovation also, all the time. We have, more or less for our entire history. But I mean, I'm not going to pretend to, speak for the Grossman family, who founded and owned Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. But, we don't tend to jump on trends very quickly or very lightly. Back to the alcohol-free beer, we started some developmental work in that area. Oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago or something like that. But we only went to market with NA beer, about a year ago. Maybe a little longer. It's
okay,
just
I thought
one.
I thought it's longer because we talked 5 years ago about that, and
I know we did. Yeah, I remember coming out to visit you because I wanted to check out your de-alcoholization plant.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we're we do a lot of small batch releases continuously at both breweries that are really just off the cuff and off the wall a lot of times.
Mm.
But when
Yeah.
we want to do something that really is more of a national launch or something like that, I mean, that comes with a lot more caution than small batch production does. It's
Yeah.
there's just a lot to consider there. Really, there is. So, but yeah, you're right. We're always tinkering, always innovating. In beers, the process improvement and new equipment and all that is just one small part of things. And then, here in the U.S., and it sounds like the same there,
I think
Tobias,
that's
you
what makes
need
it
to,
still that you're still sorry, but that's I'm thinking you're still a brewery, and
oh yeah,
you're clear to the customers because they know Sierra Nevada as a brewery for high quality handcrafted beers with a lot of hops, and that's it. So it's not, and it's positive that I say that's it, because it's not you're a beverage company like I have hard seltzers and I have beverage non-alcoholic beverages and everything else. So they know what they get, they know what to expect, and they know you deliver on point, and that's what makes it special because they know what they get from you. Same here. So
yeah,
we have a brewery with handcrafted German or Bavarian beers, and also the same quality with non-alcoholic beers. So we don't have a soft drink or something like that because it makes no sense at the moment, and I think it will confuses the people if they have a Weinstefan soft drink or something like that, or I don't know. And same I think for you. So yeah.
in a way, we do have. I'm sure you know this. You've had it before. We have a hop infused carbonated water
Yeah,
called
but I
Hop
know, yeah,
Splash.
but this is still on your
Yeah,
track. You're known for as hop hats. So
yeah, and that's I
makes
guess my
still sense.
point
It's still on
is,
track though.
yeah, I mean, whatever we do, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do our homework.
Yeah.
We're always focused on making the very highest quality we possibly can, and so sometimes that means it takes a little longer to get ready to do it and to
Yeah.
launch it. But and anyway, we're really proud of our reputation that's been built. Really. slowly over a long period of time. And that reputational quality is something we're really, really protective of. And so everything that we do that. We do it with that in mind, really.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I meant. Yeah. Yeah. But sometimes you're going a little bit different ways from your original way of brewing history.
Sure,
How to
sure.
how to
You
say.
have to. You have
That's
to.
when you go, for example, do these collaborations with German breweries, like we did at one
Right.
time, but you do it, I think, still once a year with a different brewery from Germany to launch an Oktoberfest beer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's one of the one of the coolest projects that we do every year is is that kind of a that exact collaboration. It's a different German brewery each year, and yeah, wow, that's so much fun. You remember we really had a great time doing it, but also I mean I learned a lot from
Yeah,
you because the way you're doing things is a little different than the way we're doing things, and so there was a
yeah,
good exchange there.
that's true. Yeah, that's what I always say. That's so cool because you just can learn, and that helps you even if you, I don't know, from my point of view, I'm here in Germany. I have to. I'm allowed to do that, but I have to do the traditional Bavarian beers and within the purity law, the Reinheitsgebot, and but I could learn a lot of from you guys from USA, from how you dry hop and how you handle the wort in the brew house and all the stuff. I also see it now when we have a collaboration now with a Belgian brewery.
Hmm.
It's also very traditional, old world brewing, famous brewing world, Belgian beers. And I learned a lot when I've been there last year to see how when we do the collaboration. And now we have
Right.
a second one doing in Belgium. And they wanted, so we did here in Weinstefan a Belgian beer, more or less. And they tried to do a lager beer, but they have no experience, almost no experience of brewing lagers. And we talked a lot of that. So now I can share my experience or my knowledge with them to how to brew lagers because that's sometimes it's a little bit it was a little bit insane because they are really good brewers and they have really good beers, but they have no more or less no clue about brewing lagers because it's not their daily business.
Yeah, sure, sure. That
Um,
first one that you did was the second time for using the name Braupact, I think. And
yeah,
wasn't that the one with Saint Bernardus? Is that right?
yeah, true. Yeah,
Yeah, that was really good. I remember trying that, and I was really surprised that my guess about the way that you made it was totally wrong. Do you remember that?
yeah, that's true. That was so. I also told it in the last podcast, yeah, because we've been so surprised because we our idea was to brew a Belgian beer in Germany, in Bavaria, and everybody expects doing it with the Belgian yeast and with the
Right.
Bavarian hops, because Hallertau hop growing area in Bavaria, and that's we said at that point, okay, everybody
Yeah.
expects that, so let's
And
do the
that's what I
opposite.
thought you did too,
Do it in the
even after
opposite
I
way.
tasted it.
Yeah, and we took Belgium hops, not so famous, and Bavarian wheat beer yeast, not so good for Belgian beers, but we thought it's too easy if we do it in the way everybody expects.
Yeah, yeah.
If we can manage it that way, and it worked out really good, I think. So we at least we were was happy with that. And a lot of people the comments in the podcast or in the Instagram, I don't know. Oh, that's so great, great beer. I can taste and feel the Belgium yeast and oh, the nice hops from Hallertau. And I said, yeah, cool. So we fooled everybody.
Yeah,
So
no doubt. No doubt. That was
that
awesome.
was that's Brewer's success.
Those are the fun ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
When I always enjoy that too, when you have a technical challenge that really makes you think and work to figure out how to make it happen. And
Yeah. I think we also did it when we did a collaboration, our brew pact. It
yeah,
was with, okay, we used some American hops, of course, for more hoppiness, because
right.
we said it must be something with wheat beer. Yeah, great. I see your Braufakt sign. Yeah, because we've been very clear at the first time. I said it must be hoppy, and you said it must be something with wheat beer, because we are famous for that. And I was like, okay, let's do a hoppy wheat beer. And how we can develop it, but with our yeast and with your hops, and to bring both worlds together, and
Yeah,
both brewers have to be fine in the taste. We did all in the brew house, no dry hopping, and we used the normal Weinstefan yeast, but just a different mash regime and different
yeah.
fermentation temperatures, and then it was a really drinkable ale. So, but it wasn't a classical ale. And it wasn't
No,
dry hopped, but everybody,
no.
but a lot of comments at that time was, "Oh, that's so nice. We feel a dry hopped ale character." Yeah,
Yeah, we thought about making that here again on a small batch, but never have. But if I remember right, Tobias, didn't we use in that one some German-grown Amarillo?
we did. Yes,
Yeah, I thought so.
yes.
And
We
that
used
was,
some American Chinook
yeah,
and German Amarillo.
yeah. And I remember finding that really fascinating how different the German Amarillo versus the U.S. Amarillo
It is. It is.
are. That was super interesting.
Yeah, because you have
Um,
just a little bit the hint of the American Amarillo. You can feel that's an Amarillo, but not the real one. So it's more
Yeah, it's more peachy, I thought. It had much more kind of peaches or something like that in it.
peaches, and also, or maybe it was together with the Chinook, it was also piney and grassy, and but it was a long-lasting taste. So it's not like if you dry hop is great, but you have to drink it super fresh.
Right.
And if you yeah, ship it over to the world, to United States or somewhere, from our point, then it's not good for the taste, or for the long-lasting taste. So that's why
Right.
I decided to do it just in the brew house. But it was a good decision, because the taste was also, after 10 months, still really, really good, and
Hmm.
not too bad, or developed some other tastes which also fits to the beer. And it
Yeah, it
wasn't
was.
that's true. There's also the color of the beer was, yeah, like orange, kind like peach. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It had a really light, I don't know, amber color to it. It looked like copper, polished copper,
Hmm.
or something like that. That was a really beautiful beer. Hmm. Good memories.
Yeah, true. Okay, I think I have to do some like a commercial break now.
Okay.
Okay.
Attention brewers. Registration is now open for the 2025 Best of Craft Beer Awards. This is a BJCP sanctioned competition judged by fellow brewers and industry leaders. It uses a unique set of style guidelines that champions harmonious and dynamic beers. Held in beautiful Central Oregon, it's the third largest professional brewing competition in North America and is an opportunity to have your hard work evaluated and rewarded. In addition to traditional and specialty beer styles, new this year is the hop water category. Register your beers through January 31, 2025 by visiting bestofcraftbeerawards.com/register. Don't delay. Learn more and get your beers signed up by visiting bestofcraftbeerawards.com/register.
I'm David Seiler from Stonthrow Brewing in Charleston, South Carolina, and I use Malt Europe because they have great products and customer service. The new warehouse has been an amazing upgrade to Malt Europe service, which I really didn't think was even possible. The short turnaround time has been great for me. Being able to pivot and change brew days is crucial to any brewery. The ability to switch things at the end of the week, knowing I'll have grain within a couple of days from placing my order, means I can be much more fluid with my brew days. It has severely decreased my anxiety as a planner, and less stress is such a great feeling. Contact Malt Europe today and visit malteuropemaltingco.com.
It doesn't matter what size your brewery is, 1 barrel or 1,000. Maybe you're in planning. Whatever the size or situation, Ollie has helped brewers save money and become more efficient. The best part? When you're talking to the Ollie team, you're talking to people who have worked in the industry. Learn more about Ollie and how it's transforming breweries everywhere at getollie.com/pod. That's getollie.com/pod.
Okay. So you also travel to the world, and I know you, or from my point of view, you're always happy when you're over here and we are in the beer garden and have a beer together. So, but what is you? You're not only traveling to Europe or to Germany, you're also traveling to some other part of the world. What what are you looking for when you're going for traveling for special beer, or what do you like also in America when you don't drink Sierra Nevada beer?
Well, yeah, it's probably the same as most people. It's always exciting to find a beer that you heard about but never had a chance to try it. And that's a really kind of fun thing about traveling around the world. And if it's not that, then for example, and it's like what we've already just talked about, is that when I come there and I get a Weihenstephaner, it's going to be fresher than any version that I can get over here. And I think that's one of the other really nice things to find. We had a similar experience. Well, we get a lot of comments maybe from people. So some of you probably know we built a new brewery in the eastern United States about 12 years ago, and prior to that, we would ship everything out of California. And
Yeah.
one of our biggest markets at that time, probably still is today, is New York State. And so we send a lot of beer out there, but that's really, really far from California. And, we always ship refrigerated, and, everything goes through the distribution network as quickly and efficiently as possible. But there's really still, if you were to have them side by side, there is a difference between, pale ale that's 20, 30 days old versus 2-3 month old. And so we got a lot of comments from people when we started with the East Coast Brewery. People said, like, wow, the pale ale is a little different. What did you guys do? and it was just, no, it's just fresher, And that's a really fun thing about traveling is, you get to go try the beer the way it was meant to be had
Yeah.
when you get it in its home turf. I had a fun one. A year and change ago, I had my first time ever. I had a chance to go to Australia, and there I had fresh Coopers sparkling, which I've never actually tried before because you can't get it pretty much anywhere outside of Australia, as far as I know.
True, yeah.
And it's a really famous beer. It's definitely up there in refer back to some of the wonderful Michael Jackson beer guidebooks. That one's kind of always up there, and so it was my first time trying that, and that was pretty great. But at the same time, it was also my first time being exposed to, sometimes even hearing about, and certainly trying craft beers from Australia. So it's so exciting to get a chance to do that.
They have a lot of good beers over there. That's true, yeah. Have
Oh
you
yeah.
tried the Sierra Nevada or the Weihenstephan in Australia?
Well, I did. Absolutely, I did. Yeah. And, I have to. It's funny. Every time I go somewhere, it's funny. My wife, Elizabeth, has a bunch of pictures of me. And she always does this. I get a bottle or a can of my beer somewhere far away, and I'm always looking at the date code. And for whatever reason, she takes
That's
my
the
picture
first
at
thing you
that
have to do.
time.
The second is to smell, and then to
Right.
drink. I always get the same. Why you first looking and then sniffing and then drinking? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because this, I don't know, it's a brewer thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's one point of how we came into our collaboration, because there was our head of sales, export director,
Yeah.
and your head
Marcus.
of sales, or the brother of Ken Grossman,
Yeah.
sat
That's
together,
Steve
sat,
Grossman. Yeah.
yeah, sat together in Australia with the importer in Australia, which is the same one. I don't know, Sydney Beer Week or something like that, and had a good evening and drank beer together. And then the Australian importer said, "Hey, why are you guys not doing a collaboration together? Because you know each other, you like each other. We have both beers here in Australia, and that's people like it. Why you don't do a collaboration?" And that was the start, just because the import in Australia has both beers. And yeah, that was one of the things. So that's really
Yeah.
funny. That's why I asked if you tried both of them.
Yeah.
And
For
when
sure.
I've been in Australia, same thing. So I tried. I was very nervous to try the first Weinstefan beer, and but I was really surprised how good it was, because I thought traveling over the whole half of the globe, it could lose some quality, but they handled it good over there. Refrigerated transportation in whole Australia for our beers and your beers, and that's why I think the beers also have a success. It's one of the point, because they bring it super fresh to the customers. And when I've been there, for example, in Adelaide, same thing with Cooper's. I think the Cooper's Brewery is in Adelaide, and
Mhm.
we did a collaboration with a very small brewery, the Wheaties was the name. Jade was the brewer, and she was super cool, really cool brew pub, and we did a beer together. So Bavarian beers, or the Dunkels, but with Australian hops, and it was super fun day, and really, really cool brewery. And it's in Adelaide, and with, I don't know, for lunch or something, we'll sit outside in the beer garden, and over the street at the other side there was another pub, and there was the Cooper's truck, but was not a truck. It was more like a pickup truck,
Okay.
and they had a lot of keg on the truck. And in Australia, as you know, it's a little bit hot over there. And the guy from the truck um, put some gloves on to handle the keg, because the keg were so super hot, because there was stainless steel keg on the
Oh, wow.
truck without a plane, so the pickup truck, and need he needed gloves to collect the keg from the truck and put it into the pub. And I said to Jade, "So what is he doing there?" And she said, "I don't know, maybe it's too hot. The kegs are too hot." And I said, "But the brewery is here in the same city. Don't they know that heat and beer are not good friends?" And she just laughed. Hmm, maybe they don't know. Maybe this is the success of me. Maybe this is the success of White Stefan here in Australia. And I said, "Okay, okay." So I don't tell him. And she said, "I also don't tell him." So I don't know why they're doing that. We tried the beer, of course, at the evening, for after dinner. We also went over there, and they know each other. The guy from the pub, and we tried a beer, and the beer it's a good beer, of course.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
I can
still
say
still
it
a, it
was
was still a
delicious.
good beer, even if it was in the heat. And it's much more better when compared to when you get it in Europe. So it's also even harder to find in Europe than Sierra Nevada beer. But sometimes you get it in a, I don't know, green or white bottle, and it's oxidized, and it's, yeah.
But that's a problem
Height
with
and heat is not a good friend of beer, as we all know.
yeah, with
Even in Australia,
exporting, that's
they
a big
don't know
challenge.
how they have to bring it somewhere with a fridge, and maybe that's our success, but that's okay at the moment. I think so.
I went to Cambodia after that very same trip, and I was really excited to try the beers there because they were mostly beers I'd never even heard of. But I found out something really interesting. As best I can understand, they're mostly, I mean, the bigger breweries, of course, are all producing, light lager beers, high adjunct content. But I found out that they're using maybe some of them, I can't be sure. The information I have isn't really accurate, but they're using some kind of a green mango, and I
Okay.
was trying to ask about that, and is the best I could piece together was that they're using there's an enzyme in green mango that is important for the processing of the adjuncts that they're using,
Okay. What
and
is
it grows naturally there. I think it's a fairly big agricultural commodity in that region.
Yeah.
But I thought, wow, now that is innovative. That is really cool to use the enzyme from the green mango to produce light lager beer. And the beers were great too. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's the same like I think from papaya, they also have some enzymes inside which cuts down the starch of the fruits to make beer. So that's really cool. So they're also different worlds, different ways of brewing. So it's always interesting if you when you travel just to, as you said, try a beer you never had before and understand why they're doing that and how they're doing that. Even if you
Sure.
don't, even if you don't if you can't do it at home, but it's brings you more knowledge about the whole process. I think
Yeah,
so.
once in a while you pick up a little, nugget of information like
Mhm.
that, and you just keep it in the back of your head. And then one day,
Yeah,
there will be some project that comes up, and you think, that's complicated. How are we going to do that? And then you think, oh yeah, remember that one time, you know?
we need some mangoes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
you never know, but it's fascinating, and you get a chance to. Um, we have a pilot brewery at both locations here that we use for research and development work and experimentation, innovation, all kinds of things. You name it, we do it, and that gives us the perfect venue, say, for trying things that uh, maybe they're
yeah,
complicated enough or risky enough that I don't
yeah,
want to do it at a 200 barrel batch.
yeah, of
It's
course. Yeah,
no, not doing that. So we can play around with things. I call it playing around, but it is just really, learning and applying what we have learned and trying to do things in different ways or innovative ways and make new beers in the process.
yeah, that's so
So
important. Yeah, and
yeah, it's great.
sometimes you find out some things you can um, bring into the big plant,
That's
or you
true.
just have a really good beer for a different a special occasion. Or I remember, was it last year or the year before, when for the what is that World Beer Awards or World Beer Cup? World Beer Cup is in the United States, right?
Um, well, yeah. World
Yeah,
Beer Cup
World Beer Cup.
is part of the Brewers
And
Association.
yeah, and I saw there's a big, so it's very USA orientated, but of course it is, and it makes sense that it is. And there's a big group of wheat beers, all kind of wheat beers, like pale wheat beers, dark wheat beers, crystal wheat beers, strong wheat beers. And I think in the strong wheat beer category, or all the big category, Um, with the Vitus, we've been, I think we won the silver or bronze medal or something like that. And Sierra Nevada won the gold medal with wheat beer, pale wheat beer bock. And I said,
Yeah, that's
just
right.
this is just our Vitus, more or less. And then I I said, what the hell? And I texted Scott, okay, congratulations on that. I didn't know that you have a wheat beer, a pale wheat beer bock. And he said, "Oh, this was just a trial we did on the research brewery. I just I remember the Vitus and I love to drink it when I'm in Weinstefan, and I tried to explain my son how to brew beer, and let's try with a Vitus." And then it was a real good beer, and you brought it to the World Beer Cup, and you won the gold medal. It's
Yeah,
so
that's
crazy
such
and
a
funny
funny
and
story. Yeah.
amazing at the same time.
Yeah, that's a true story. I remember. Yeah, my middle son is his name's Henry. He wanted to learn a little bit more about brewing, so we came in one day, and I thought, well, let's do something challenging. So we did a Weizenbock, and yeah. Long story short, it was really good. It was just he and I, and we brewed it together one morning here in the small pilot brewery, and then some of the guys said, we should enter that, and so they went ahead and entered it. But the first I heard about it was when you sent me that text saying congratulations, and I was like, "What? Congratulations for what?" Yeah, that was really funny. That was a
That
good
was
one.
really cool. And for me, it was amazing. We laughed because we thought that's so cool. And this is exactly what it shows that it makes sense to share knowledge and then talk about ways of brewing. And you more or less you didn't it for the competition. You did it for fun,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
to
just for
bring
the
it for
love of
your
it.
son.
For
And
the love of it.
it was so good that people said you have to enter that because it's a really good beer, and that's really cool. That's a cool story, and I'm so yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
So
that was a good one.
congratulations, really good. That was cool. But you mentioned the people um, saw or checked that it was different beer or a fresher beer when you set up your North Carolina brewery. Um, but I think you also compare it within the company from time to time or monthly base. I don't know. How do you
Yeah,
do it?
yeah,
You exchange, for
yeah,
example,
yeah,
ale is the main brand.
yeah.
You send it by mail, so it's faster, 1 or 2 days. Then you have it in the brewery, and then you compare it, the California and the North Carolina version of pale ale.
Yeah,
Or
that's right.
is there an internal competition or fight, or I don't know how to call it? Who is brewing the better one, or is the main goal to have the same taste, or
Yeah, no,
the main goal?
there's no competition at all. We do meet as a group, our combined sensory panels every Friday at 2 o'clock, and we have a meeting that we call
So
Flavor
late.
Pro. What's that?
That's very late. Two
Uh,
o'clock.
well, I don't know. That's just when it happens to be
It's Friday.
scheduled. Well, you got to remember we're across a couple of time zones, so it's not late in California by any means.
We start everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost you for a second there, but
Yeah.
normally,
Okay. With
normally every day we do our normal sensory panel at 10, and then on Fridays we do this flavor profile alignment meeting. And so what that is we send the same brand from each brewery to each other. And one of the most important things is that they are from the same or nearly the same packaging date. so that you can kind of eliminate that as a variable. And then we taste them blind, and then we give rankings and some flavor attribute comments and things like that. But the point is that we're always trying our best to make sure that the pale ale that we make here is the same as the pale ale that we make in Chico, and the same
Makes
with
sense.
Hazy little thing and so on. That's really important because
Yeah, it makes sense, but I know it from other. I don't want to call you a group, but I know it from other groups. They also do the same, but they at the end of the day they have a small competition. Who is brew who is brewing the best version?
no, I have to
This is
say
just a brewer
honestly,
thing, you know?
honestly, I don't think that plays into it. Really, not at all. And here's maybe a good example of it. Maybe a good way to think about what I would call a success when we are tasting in that meeting.
Mm,
Um, you know, if you have a pattern where the pale ale, from one brewery or the other ranks higher, then you are not aligned and you have something going wrong in the process,
mm,
and you have to make an adjustment. But what we tend to find is that one week one brewery will rank higher, and the next week the other brewery will rank higher. And so, from a statistical point of view, that really means that you have really good alignment. If you're kind of back and forth all the time like that.
yeah, true. Yeah.
So we're really proud of that. We have it's actually a really great session, because out of it we take the scores and the comments and everything like that, and we generate actions where we'll look at the ingredient traceability, we'll look at the lot numbers, we'll look at the hops that are used, we'll look at everything, and that really allows us to constantly just keep on top of it. I mean, you know how it is when you're brewing, something year round for the whole year. You're brewing it all the time. You do have many times during the year where you have a lot change. So you change your, Cascade hop lot number XYZ. You ran out of it, and so now you're going to change to, the next lot, and we anticipate that pretty well, and do try to make sure that if any adjustments prior to that change needs to happen, that we're on top of it. But the tasting sensory session is the validation step that we're
Yeah,
still
true.
on target.
Yeah, true. So the main goal is that if you can't recognize your beer brewed in North Carolina, then it's a good one, because then it's both are on the same stage, and that's what you expect for the customers.
Absolutely. I mean, people travel a lot, and if I or anybody, if you're flying on business or vacation and you go to Florida, and at the airport you get a pale ale, and then you go to Chicago and at the airport you get a pale ale, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it
of course.
really
Yeah.
has to be the same. It has
Yeah,
to be
true.
the
True.
same every time. That's really important. It's one of those things that is a real challenge in the industry, that this is what the customer expects, and as brewers we know, oh, it's not that easy to make it the same every time.
Yeah, true. That's what I always say. So we are a little bit behind of the wine industry in this term, because they managed to educate the people that they are more farmers than technologists. Yeah, can I say? I know what I wanted to say. So
Yeah,
they're at
they
the field and grow the grapes and try to do the best out of it, and
sure.
more or less don't change the process.
Yeah, they celebrate
Then
that
they
they
have a
have
different
a
taste every year.
vintage.
Yeah, they have a different taste every year, and they just call it vintage. But
Yeah.
we also have a different harvest every year. And it's what the same what you said now. We have a different um, lot of barley or hops. But this is our challenge as brewers or technologists, so to know and which screw we have to screw to adjust the process to have the same taste what the people expect. So maybe make it a little bit better if it's possible, but
Hmm.
not the big steps or changes at once, because the people know the taste, and when they order a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale or a Weinstefan Hefeweiss, they expect the taste. They want to have the taste. So that's why we have, when the people are talking or asking me, "Oh, you're the oldest brewer in the world. You have recipes that are 100 or 1,000 years old." And I said, no. So my recipe is, I don't know, I think maybe 9 months or 8 months. I don't know. Why? You can't do that. So I always explain, okay, the idea is the same. Of course, is the idea the same, but you have to adjust because of the different raw materials. Because we have a different um, harvest or different areas where we get the barley or the wheat from. So we have to adjust it within the process.
Yeah.
Have the taste the people expect.
Yeah.
And
Every brewer knows
that's our
this.
challenge.
Yeah.
That's our challenge. Not
It's a
1,000 years.
big time challenge.
If I
And,
stick on the recipes from the last 100 years, nobody wants to drink my beer.
yeah, it's a big time challenge. And on top of that, you have to think about flavor stability.
Yeah,
There are many things that you can do, many things that you do that improve it, and other things that you do that make it worse. But still, when you have your beer and you're shipping it around the world or around the country, there's no excuse in the minds of the customer, and that's the most important thing.
yeah, that's true. And if they have 10 good beers and one bad, they will talk about the one bad.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
That's why we have to be stable. So we also compare our batches. So we have one brewery and not two, but we compare the batches. And even from within 3 months. And of course, we know that there's still aging within 3 months, but is the aging on the right point? Is it too far? Is the taste from 1 week, the fillings from 1 week, or the different tanks from 1 week, are they
sure.
tasting more or less the same? So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is our point when we taste.
yeah.
One
That's
one point
kind of
is it okay? Is it what we expect? The other point is, are they comparable?
right.
Because this is what the people get to know. And also we
Yeah, that goes
force
right
force
back
to age
to
it because we are export orientated. So we need to force age it um, to try it to know how it will be when it is in the countries all over the world.
right. Yeah, that's a big part of. I think what we started out, you were asking me, what do I do, and part of that, a major consideration in that point about brewery process improvement and optimization, a lot of that feeds right back into flavor stability and quality consistency.
Yeah,
So
one of the
it's
most
that
thing.
constant thing. It never ends.
It's one of the main goals in the when it comes to production things. So besides a lot of people management and all the other stuff, but a lot of things within the process is not developing new recipes. It's just to make your brand or power brands stable.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So never a dull moment. We're not bored. That's
Yeah,
for sure. And we're
that's true.
certainly not hanging around the brewery drinking beer all the time.
And if we do, it's just research reasons.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, I think we are coming to the end. So thank you so much, Scott, for your time and everything else. So I think people learn a lot about how you're working at Sierra Nevada and what your ideas about brewing. and maybe they will taste the next Sierra Nevada Pale Ale or Weinstefan Hefeweiss with a different thinking about it, because they maybe know or now know that we are doing a lot of background work, even if, I don't know, they think it's a small scale, but for us it's a big thing, just to bring the best taste and best flavor stability to the people. And that's, at the end of the day, always the goal, to have happy customers. And we too are also customers. So we also want to have good beer when we go to the pub.
Absolutely.
That's why it's very important to do that. So thank you so much, Scott, for everything.
Oh, thank you, Tobias. It's great to see you, and always great to speak with you. Yeah, every time we get a chance to get together and talk, I always learn something. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. So Scott will be back on the next episode of the show as a host and having a conversation with a brewer of his choosing. That will be on the air in 2 weeks, so make sure to tune in for that. A reminder, visit allaboutbeer.com and follow on social media. To support journalism in the beer space, check out patreon.com/allaboutbeer. So I'm Tobias Zollo from Malteurop. Thank you for listening to the Brewer to Brewer podcast.
This episode was proudly brought to you by Ollie, the brewery software that could save you massive amounts of money and time, just like we did for hundreds of brewers like you in 2024. Make 2025 the year you switch to Ollie and discover why it's the fastest growing brewery software trusted by thousands of brewers across the globe. Visit getollie.com/pod to learn more. One more time, that's getollie, OLLIE.com/pod. Cheers.
Attention brewers, registration is now open for the 2025 Best of Craft Beer Awards. This is a BJCP sanctioned competition judged by fellow brewers and industry leaders. It uses a unique set of style guidelines that champions harmonious and dynamic beers. Held in beautiful Central Oregon, it's the third largest professional brewing competition in North America and is an opportunity to have your hard work evaluated and rewarded. In addition to traditional and specialty beer styles, new this year is the hop water category. Register your beers through January 31, 2025 by visiting bestofcraftbeerawards.com/register. Don't delay. Learn more and get your beers signed up by visiting bestofcraftbeerawards.com/register.
I'm David Seiler from Stone Brewing in Charleston, South Carolina, and I use Malt Europe because they have great products and customer service. The new warehouse has been an amazing upgrade to Malt Europe service, which I really didn't think was even possible. The short turnaround time has been great for me. Being able to pivot and change brew days is crucial to any brewery. The ability to switch things at the end of the week, knowing I'll have grain within a couple of days for placing my order, means I can be much more fluid with my brew days. It has severely decreased my anxiety as a planner, and less stress is such a great feeling. Contact Malt Europe today and visit malteuropemaltingco.com.